Bodø Glimt 3, Inter 1. Remember, these ties played over 2 legs. But what a task Inter have now in the second leg in Italy as we welcome in former Inter player Jürgen Klinsmann is with us. Whoa, that was not pretty viewing for your boys.
Well, I have to say this was, and I already spoke to some friends in Milano. This is an earthquake for Italian football. It's an earthquake. What happened there tonight at Bodø Glimt? Obviously, they totally deserved to win this game. They were fantastic. All 3 goals, as you said, played out fantastically. The energy that they had, and we have to think about it. Bodø Glimt, they are still in off season. They haven't even started their season yet in Norway. And they were resilient. They were feisty. They were tough. They were playing well. Technically, very, very gifted players. All of them, beautiful goals. And Inter didn't know what to do. Obviously, they had two posts. First half, Damian hit the post. Then second half, as we saw, Lautaro Martinez hit the post. So there could have been 1 or 2 more goals from Inter. But the body language of the Inter players, that they were confronted with this high energy from Bodø Glimt, they didn't know what to do. And this is a disaster. It's a disaster for a club like Inter Milan in the knockout phase of the Champions League. I mean, it's obviously still to fixable in a certain way in Milano next week, the return match, and it's only 2 goals difference. But it seems like they're getting real nightmares with the Norwegian, the Italians, because Norway kicked out obviously the Italian national team from qualifying directly to the World Cup. Italy has to go to the qualifiers at the end of March, and now comes Bodø Glimt and sends them home with a 3-1 package. I mean, they have nightmares about Norway. And I can only give Bodø Glimt huge compliments, the way they played, and we've held the tempo until the very last minute. You thought, okay, after an hour they're gonna run out of breath because they are not in season. But no, they kept the tempo high. They kept the ball flowing, and the passing was outstanding. The crowd really enjoyed themselves. But this is an earthquake in Italy.
Yeah, Fjortoft is loving life at the moment. He's visiting Jürgen in his dreams. Norway are winning in the Winter Olympics. And of course, and Ali, what's interesting about this story, this isn't a fluke. No. You've beat Manchester City, you went to Madrid and beat Atletico, and now you've beaten Inter.
Right. And so the fact that they did what they did against Manchester City, which was completely outplay them, should have been the cautionary tale for Inter. They should have known, hey, if this can happen to Manchester City, it can also happen to us. And the common denominator between that game against Manchester City and today with Inter is that Bodø Glimt somehow surprised both Manchester City and Inter with their level of energy, with their enthusiasm, with their willingness to get numbers around the ball. Now, what is Inter expecting when they go to the end of the world in Norway, all the way up there to play in this tiny stadium, that these people, all they have to do is support this team? They're excited about this moment. What do you think the energy is going to be like? What do you think the intensity is going to be like? And if you didn't pay attention to what they did against Manchester City, then this is why you're exposed today. So to Jürgen's point, Inter, they have this blank stare about them like, wait, they're running. Oh, they're moving. Oh, they're closing down the ball. Oh, wait, we're second to every challenge. And what was most impressive about Bodø Glimt today, and it has been impressive over the course of their run in Champions League, but today in particular, was that once they regained possession of the ball, the quality of decision and the quality of execution as they get out on transition. That first pass out of pressure, that second pass that finds the open man, movement on the outside, movement on the inside, combination play. This is not we're just going to dump the ball and see what happens. Everything has a purpose in the attack for them. They know they're not going to have a lot of opportunities to get forward. So when they do get forward, they do so with a purpose and with clarity of thought, clarity of mind, and execution. A lot of quality in the attack for them in the final third, efficient and effective inside the 18-yard box. This is not, as you just mentioned and described it, this is not a fluke.
It's funny how yesterday we were talking about the culture of Italian football, isn't it?
Yes, yeah, with Juventus losing 5-2, yeah.
So when it went to 1-1, I thought, right, Inter have to just be smart. They've kind of weathered the storm by getting back on level terms. So surely they're just going to shut things down. Don't let them have anything. It never happened. I mean, Jürgen, is there any side in Italy that can play defensively now? Because it seems like it's just goals all over the place. And then when they do get back in the game, like Inter today, they can't shut it down. What's going on?
I think they're realizing that a lot of things has been developed over the last 10, 12 years the wrong direction. I think, I read the daily newspapers in Italy, the sports papers, and they started to lose kind of having trust in their defensive capabilities, because they always think as long as it's 1-0 or maybe 1 goal, we're going to fix this game, because we always solid defensively. Almost all the teams play with a back five in Italy. Also the top teams play a back five. Very rarely you see a back four, which is used in most of the other countries. But they had so much trust in the way they did it over decades that right now they're losing that trust. Has also to do with the national team and in a certain way not having qualified, for the last 2 World Cups. In the middle, they won in the European Championships, but they haven't qualified for the last 2 World Cups. And now they risk again not qualifying for the World Cup, which we hope that they do, because you need a country like Italy in your World Cup. But there's a huge discussion going on in Italy about, how to approach games, because I would describe it, they approach the game with a cultural or a mentality not to lose the game. So it's not necessarily I go on the field to win the game, I go on the field not to lose the game. And that plays psychologically, it plays a few games in your brain, because if you always think about not losing, then you never really risk, but you have to risk. If you want to win a game, you got to go and risk something, and you got to go and get the 3 points. For the Italians, basically, tying the game, ending up with 1 point is always still accepted. It's accepted. In other cultures, it's not. In the Premier League, it's not. In the Bundesliga, it's not. In Spain, it's not. You play there to win the game and get the 3 points. And now they kind of wake up more and more, also the top teams in Italy, saying we cannot use that approach anymore. We have to approach it like the rest of the world and say we're going to go for 3 points. We want to win the game, and not basically just play for not losing the game. But it keeps the coaches safe, the managers safe. They don't want to risk. They don't want to lose their job. If they lose 2 games, then they lose their jobs. And so it's, this is tonight. This is a real tragedy for Italian football, as it was last night with Juventus at Galatasaray. This is unacceptable for Italians, conceding 5 goals in Turkey and 3 in Norway.
Atalanta, of course, losing as well to Dortmund. Jürgen, how easy is this going to be to overcome basically in the second leg? Obviously, Inter with home advantage, but still a big task.
It's going to be a huge task, because this is a very good team, Bodø Glimt. As we saw just now, all the results that they have over the last 2-3 years there in Europe, it's fantastic. So they will give them a fight. They will be feisty. They will also go for goals. So they will not just defend. They will try to score a goal or 2, even in Milano. The crowd definitely, it will be packed, 80,000, and they will push Inter forward. They will still believe in it. But the longer the game will go on and Inter doesn't score the first goal, the more discontent the people will get, and the more you maybe will hear people whistling and going at their own team. So this will be a very, psychologically, a very difficult game to play for Inter Milan.
Before I let Jürgen go, I just want to remind you, huge event at the end of the month, of course, the Klassiker, live on ESPN+, and the show will be live in LA, with Ali, with Kay, and with Jürgen Klinsmann as well. For more information, just click on the QR code there at the bottom of the screen. Jürgen and Ali in the same room together. Jürgen, I doubt you're going to be able to sleep, are you, between now and then?
Impossible.
What a time to be alive. Be sure, obviously, to click on the QR code then to take you to registration. Jürgen, thank you very much.